The man blocked the car's exhaust pipe with a towel and then started the engine. He pressed the gas pedal all the way down. As the fumes filled the car, his mind began to fade. He wanted to leave the compensation money to his wife this way. But while he was in a daze, he heard knocking on the car window. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself back in high school. Not only did he look 20 years younger, but his limp was gone too. Before he could react, the familiar sound of the school bell broke his thoughts. The man walked through the high school campus. His classmates greeted him warmly. At that time, he was the star player of the football team. He was very popular at school, and even the school beauty was his girlfriend. The man could not believe he had traveled back in time. When he reached the coach's office, he learned that the game which ruined his life would be held that weekend. That game was the brightest moment of his life. In the last few seconds of the match, he had made an incredible comeback on his own, helping the town win the regional championship. But during the game, his left leg was seriously injured by an opponent's tackle. Although he became the town's hero, his limp would stay with him for life. The beautiful life that belonged to him was destroyed. To make a living, the man had no choice but to farm on his family's land. At 40 years old, he had already been worn down by life and had become a scruffy uncle. His former teammates became football stars. They owned luxury cars and big houses. His old girlfriend from school was now the wife of one of them. For 20 years, the man regretted his decision many times. If he had not been injured in that game, maybe he would have been the sports star. However, he still had his wife and daughter who loved him. To give them a better life, he took out a loan and planted soybeans on the farm, which could bring high profits. If the harvest was good, he would earn a lot of money. But high returns often came with high risks. Bad weather delayed the soybeans from ripening, and his loan was overdue. The bank staff told him that if he did not pay back the money by the deadline, the bank would auction all his assets. While the man was worried about the loan, the bad weather hit him again. The soybeans, which were about to ripen, were frozen. If he did not harvest them soon, the beans would rot. To avoid bigger losses, he borrowed the town's only harvester to harvest early. But after a short time, the harvester's blade was stuck and broken by a wooden stake in the field. The man could not accept this. He had to drive dozens of miles to a repair shop. But unfortunately, the shop was closed. At that moment, a heavy rainstorm began pouring down. It was like lighting the fuse on a bomb. His life was ruined again. The repeated setbacks made the man lose hope of living. But to make sure the compensation money reached his wife and daughter, he decided to cause an accident. So, he blocked the exhaust pipe with a towel. What he did not expect was that this act sent him back 20 years in time. Since heaven gave him a second chance, the man decided to change his fate and turn around his poor life. If heaven gave you a chance to go back to the past, what would you most want to change?